Hello, everyone, welcome back to the Frontline Report channel. Please subscribe and like my videos. Imagine a cold dawn breaking over a silent border where the hum of electric motors and drone propellers replaces the thunder of tanks. In that moment, the rivers, forests, and ridges that formed the rear lines of the old war become the new front stage of an audacious strike. This is the scene we explore today in Firestorm over Russia. Ukraine strikes deep behind enemy lines. Where Ukraine shifts from defense to bold offensive operations. From the outside, we see terrain transform. Marshes, highways, small villages along the Russian-Ukrainian frontier suddenly echo with movement not just of troops but of long-range drones, missile convoys, electronic warfare vehicles, and special forces teams. Ukraine has begun to reach into what had been Russia's rear zones, disrupting fuel depots, logistics hubs, rail lines, turning the conventional front line inside out. Analysts note that Russian advances have stalled in many sectors, with significant losses of equipment and personnel. This exterior environment is dynamic and shifting. Mobile strike groups, night operations, multi-domain warfare combining air, land, cyber, and drone assets. Inside that effort, the interior vantage is tighter. In a command center deep in Ukraine, we find analysts monitoring satellite feeds, drone telemetry, signal intercepts, logistics graphs, then passing orders to strike teams. The machines click, the screens flash red and green, and the moment of launch is counted in seconds. The interior view is short, but intense. It shows the brain behind the brawn. Performance wise, this new phase is remarkable. Ukraine's ability to mount deep strikes beyond the immediate front line gives it strategic initiative. Long-range drones now reach into Russian territory, striking fuel processing, refineries, and supply nodes. According to recent AP reporting, since the summer of 2025, Ukraine has launched over 160 successful deep strikes into Russia, targeting oil refineries, fuel depots, and military logistics hubs. This kind of reach changes the game. Instead of simply repelling, Ukraine is forcing Russia to defend territory within its borders, stretching Russian air defense networks and supply lines. Meanwhile, Russian forces have advanced very slowly in many sectors, regaining little ground while sustaining heavy equipment losses. The performance factor thus hinges on speed, reach, precision, and strategic disruption, not brute mass alone. When we consider safety features in this context, we're not talking about airbags or steel plating. We're talking strategic safeguards, operational resilience, and risk mitigation. For Ukraine to strike deep behind enemy lines and live to tell about it, it must secure its intelligence chain, maintain operational security so that the enemy doesn't anticipate the strike, protect its own forces with electronic counter measures, and ensure extraction or fallback routes in case mission turns hot. It also means minimizing collateral damage to maintain political legitimacy and keep international support. In short, the safety features are built out of planning, resilience, surprise, redundancy, and exit strategy. The unique selling points of this approach are compelling. First, the shift from reactive to proactive warfare. Ukraine isn't just defending, it's going on the offensive. Second, integration of modern technology, drones, loitering munitions, cyber intel, special forces infiltration, all linked into one campaign. Third, disruption rather than occupation, hitting enemy supply, morale, and logistics rather than simply holding ground. Fourth, psychological impact, striking deep undermines the sense of safety inside Russian territory, forcing Moscow to reallocate resources and reconsider its assumptions. Fifth, cost effectiveness, smaller, smart units achieving outsized effects. These are the features that make this phase of conflict noteworthy. Now let's talk about price, and by this, I mean cost in its many dimensions. Monetary cost: developing, building, and launching long-range drones and missiles, sustaining intelligence networks, deploying special forces are expensive. Human cost: casualties, risk of mission failure, exposure behind enemy lines. Strategic cost: if an operation fails, it may provoke reprisal, escalate the war, or overextend Ukrainian forces. Political cost: Striking inside Russian territory may strain international norms or invite harsher retaliation. But the potential payoff is high: degradation of enemy capacity, forced reallocation of enemy resources, rising morale for Ukraine, shifting the strategic balance. The price is steep, but the stakes are equally high. In conclusion, this firestorm over Russia-Ukraine strikes deep behind enemy lines. A scenario embodies a turning point in modern warfare. The battlefield expands beyond fortifications and trenches. The enemy's rear becomes vulnerable. Technology merges with audacity. Smaller forces achieve larger disruption. Ukraine's external maneuvers, interior command centers, performance metrics, safety planning, unique selling points, and cost calculus all converge to tell a story of change. The war no longer follows the conventional line of battle. It has become multi-dimensional, networked, and unpredictable. For those watching this war unfold, this is the moment when initiative shifts, when defense becomes offense, when the old rules no longer fully apply. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe, like, share your thoughts. What do you think Russia's next move will be? Will Ukraine push further? Until next time, stay informed and stay vigilant.